Cardiovascular disease takes more lives globally than anything else. For decades, the mainstream prescription has been to exercise to burn calories and lose weight. But that calorie in, calorie out model misses the mechanism of how physical activity protects the heart. Working out is an act of controlled destruction. When you elevate your heart rate, you are introducing friction, microscopic tears, and oxidative stress into your body. Think of a martial artist conditioning their hands. By repeatedly striking a solid wooden post, they are causing localized microtrauma to the bone and skin. The cells in that hand sense the mechanical impact. Instead of wearing away, the tissue responds to the trauma by calcifying and building a denser, thicker layer of bone. Human biology requires the presence of physical stress to trigger the construction of physiological resilience. That same principle of impact and adaptation happens inside your blood vessels every time you go for a run. As your heart rate climbs, it forces a larger volume of blood through your arterial network. This rushing fluid drags against the inner walls of your blood vessels, creating a continuous physical friction. Biologists call this specific, clean, unidirectional friction laminar shear stress. This internal mechanical friction isn't damage. It is the physical trigger that activates the cardiovascular system's primary defense. To see how this works, we have to zoom in to the endothelium. This is the ultra-thin, living layer of cells that lines the inside of every blood vessel in your body. When the rushing blood of a workout drags across this lining, the force of laminar shear stress physically bends and pulls the cells. This physical deformation instantly initiates a rapid cascade of chemical responses. The pulling motion wakes up an enzyme inside the cell called eNOS. You can think of eNOS as a tiny, highly specialized manufacturing plant. Once activated by the friction, this eNOS factory immediately starts producing and releasing a gas called nitric oxide into your bloodstream. Even your own red blood cells contribute. As they are physically squeezed through tiny capillaries in your active muscles, that mechanical deformation forces them to release their own payload of nitric oxide. Exercise translates a physical force into a protective chemical shield. To understand what nitric oxide does, picture two frying pans, a severely scratched, rusted iron pan and a flawless, highly polished, non-stick Teflon pan. A sedentary blood vessel is like the scratched iron. Without regular friction to stimulate nitric oxide production, the inner walls become sticky and inflamed. Circulating cholesterol, platelets, and inflammatory cells get caught in the microscopic rough patches, slowly building into deadly blockages. An exercised vessel, flushed with an abundance of nitric oxide, behaves like the Teflon pan. The gas creates a hyper-slick surface, making it biologically impossible for plaque to stick and accumulate. Nitric oxide also has a crucial secondary function. It penetrates deep into the vessel walls, acting as a potent relaxant for the smooth muscle fibers wrapping around your arteries. It's like loosening a tight grip on a flowing garden hose. The relaxed vessel physically widens, which lowers the pressure of the fluid pumping through it. Nitric oxide provides dual-layered armor. It stops internal blockages from forming, while simultaneously depressurizing the entire circulatory system. There is one final layer to this mechanism. The friction of a workout also generates a temporary spike in oxidative stress, specifically in the form of hydrogen peroxide. We typically associate oxidative stress with cellular decay and aging. You're often told to consume antioxidants, specifically to prevent this kind of chemical damage. This chart illustrates mitohormesis, a brief cellular panic triggering massive overcompensation. The red line shows a short, sharp stress spike during the workout, immediately followed by a towering blue curve. This represents your antioxidant defense system, a robust network that persists for days. Enduring a short-term controlled dose of oxidative damage is the mandatory entry fee for acquiring long-term biological immunity. This upgraded antioxidant network couples to the eNOS enzymes we mentioned earlier. It ensures those tiny nitric oxide factories run at perfect efficiency without breaking down or misfiring. Your vascular network is not a series of static plumbing pipes. It is a highly dynamic organ that expects and demands physical stress to function properly. A completely sedentary lifestyle starves the cardiovascular system of the friction and chemical signals it needs to survive. Choosing to exercise applies a life-saving non-stick coating to the heart, protecting the vascular network from the inside out.